We're back.
We're back. We are doing more
Math.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about it. Okay, today we're going to learn factors and factoring. Get you up in our handy dandy spot. We've been watching a lot of Blue's Clues at my house. Okay. So, we are on page 276 and 277 and we are talking factors. Okay. So, the first thing you have to understand is what are the factors? In multiplication, the numbers that are multiplied together are the factors. So 2 is a factor, 3 is a factor, which then makes 6
a product.
Woo! The product, okay? So we're finding out all of these of different numbers. We're going to show you how to break them apart. We're going to talk about common factors and other stuff. So stay with us. Okay, we have the number 8. The best thing you can do, and you always start with, there's always one number that goes into every single number, and it is always 1. And then you have to think 1 times what would equal 8? Well, obviously on that one, it'd be 1 times 8. Okay? Then you go down to what would be the next number after 1, and it would be 2. And you have to make sure, does 2 go into 8? Yes, it does. 2 times 4 equals 8. So then I think 3. Does 3 go into 8? Well, if I counted by 3s, it wouldn't go into 8. And by the time I get to 4, I've already done a 4 over here. So these are my factors of the number 8. So now that I have my multiplication part, I have to rewrite it. We have to get it in order from lowest to greatest. So I start up here in my top left. I have a 1. Then I put a comma. 2. Now I'm down here.
Yep, we're just going to go right down that way.
Yep. And then we're going to come over and go up. Maybe I made that harder. So I have 1, I have 2. Right here I have 4. And I have 8. These are my factors of the number 8. These all go in to the number 8. Okay? So the next one then, we have the number 16. And just like 8, we start the same with a 1. 1 times 16 equals 16. Now I think, can 2 go into 16? And if I look at 16 as an even number, yes. So 2 can go into it. 2 times 8 equals 16. 3's, if I were to count by 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 3 does not go into it. So I don't write 3 down. 4. 4 times 4 does equal 16. So I do my 4's. Okay? Now, again, like Mrs. Kemp just showed you, we're going to write these down in numerical order. So I have 1, 2, 4. Then I go back up this way. But I already wrote 4 here. I don't need to rewrite it. We don't say 1, 2, 4, 4. If we were counting, we wouldn't say 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. So I don't need to rewrite that one. I have 1, 2, 4. Then I go to my next number, 8 and 16.
So what are those numbers called?
Factors. So if I were to say how many factors of the number 16 are there, you would tell me there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 factors of the number 16. Okay, let's try another one. Ooh, hard one. Okay, that's number 7. Like we just said, what do we always start with, Mrs. Kemp?
1.
1. 1 times 7 equals 7. Okay, can 2's go into it? Well, 7's an odd number, so 2, 4, 6, 8, that doesn't work. 3, 6, 9, that doesn't work. 4, 8, 12 doesn't work. 5's don't work. 6, oh my goodness, I'm done. I have 2 factors that go into 7. 1 and 7. That's it. Mrs. Kemp, does that have a fancy name?
It does have a fancy name. It is called a prime number. Prime numbers are numbers that only have 2 factors, 1 and its number.
Woo, woo, woo. That deserves a gold star. There's not a ton of prime factors out there, but you will have a couple of them to do at some point in time. Okay, we're going to break apart the number 21 again. And just like always, Mrs. Kemp, what do we start with?
Number 1.
Number 1. 1 times 21. Okay, 2.
No way.
Not even close. 21's an odd number. 2 can't go in. 3. 3 can go in. 4th graders, be getting your math brain going. 3 times what would equal 21? What do you think they said, Mrs. Kemp?
I hope they said 7.
I hope they did too. Okay, can 4 go into 21? No. 5, nope, it doesn't end in a 0 or a 5. And 6 doesn't go into 21. So we are done factoring out 21. But we want you to put it in numerical order, number order. So I start 1, 3, then I go back up the other side, 7, 21. So Mrs. Kemp, how many factors of 21 are there?
There are 4 factors of 21.
Awesome. All right, guys. Hopefully that first part makes sense. So now we're going to talk about, I'm going to put you up for just a minute. Now we're going to talk about common factors.
Common
Fancy word, okay? So let's get you back down there. So we already broke apart 8 and 16. My factors of 8 were 1, 2, 4, 8. Good. Yep, we can see that. Okay, and 16 was 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. Okay, we're going to find the common factors. Well, those are the factors that they both share. If I look, they both share a 1. So I'm going to write 1 on the common factors of 8 and 16. Do they both have a 2? They do, and because my brain needs to see things visually, I circle them as I go. And then I write them up on my paper that you're going to do on the second half of your problems. Do they both have a number 4? Looks like it. So I'm going to put my number 4 up here. And do they have a number 8? Yes. Now, here's the deal, guys. I'm out of numbers up here, which means 16 is not a common factor. It can't be a factor of 8 because 8 was the highest number I could go to. So my common factors of the numbers 8 and 16 are 1, 2, 4, and 8. Okay, those are the factors that they have in common. Now, we're going to take those numbers, because we've already figured out, we'll just take that away, that it's 1, 2, 4, and 8. And now we have to find the greatest common factor, known as the GCF. And there's a rap to that if you guys want to look it up, but it's something with GCF, and it's awesome. Look it up. Okay, so the greatest common factor means the highest number that they have in common. 1 would not be my highest number. That's why we put these in numerical order. So if I look at it, my highest number would be 8. So my GCF, my greatest common factor, is the number 8. All right, Mrs.
So
Kemp.
on the second half of the assignment, it's going to ask you to list the common factors and then the greatest common factor.
So if you're looking down here, we'll just pull out our assignment. I went through and I marked off, you guys, this bottom 6 because they were a little bit tricky and we didn't want to mess you guys up too much. This is the part right here that you're listing out the factors, and you'll find the GCF, which is the greatest common factor. And Mrs. Kemp had a great idea earlier. What did you tell me earlier, Mrs. Kemp? If they've already broken it apart.
I don't remember.
If they already worked on it at the top part, don't do double the work, guys. You've already broke it out somewhere, so don't do extra math.
Yes, you already might have found the factors up here. So like 8 and 10, we didn't do 8 yet, but here's 10, so you already will know the factors of 10.
So use those math brains, guys.